From Dijon Baby. So getting this out of the way now, I'm not reviewing Justin Bieber's Swag 2. It's a glorified deluxe. I struggle to find things to say about Swag, and Justin Bieber has become the vehicle to support more interesting artists behind him than what he's doing himself. So let's talk about one of those artists, Dijon. Although if you're an R&B, you probably heard about him prior. Behind the scenes for several years as a songwriter and producer alongside frequent collaborator Mick G, he dropped his well-received debut Absolutely in 2021, and this new album, Baby's been getting even more critical acclaim, so where do I stand? Well, imagine if you stripped a Prince record of most of its nervy tightness with lumbering, fractured grooves cribbed from Bon Iver's 22 A Million. Justin Vernon himself shows up on Higher, where every fractured fidelity between vocal punch-ins, ragged ad-libs, samples, stuttering guitar leads, warped synth, and blown-out percussion is built to intensify that playful pile-up. Every grainy edge and clipping accentuated in an attempt to frame it as more raw. The sort of dizzying sound collage where if it works at all, it's going to come in the tumbling, kaleidoscopic experience. And yet when it's done at the expense of song structure, leaving most tracks desperately needed the pieces around them to cohere, especially when songs like Yamaha, Higher, Rewind, and Kindalove show Dijon's melodic acumen, and more coherent songs trying to claw through it at cross purposes with every slapdash mixing choice. And look, while Dijon's ragged communal holler has some charm, I really like how every unkempt moment of raw emotion just erupts forth, even if the heavily metallic vocal filters aren't that favorable to accentuating that ragged humanity. The actual lyrics don't often keep up. They often feel painstakingly basic and ham-fisted painting these scenes, where Dijon and every effect slathered on top of them does the heavy lifting. Now that's not out of character for R&B, but Dijon's writing in particular feels sporadic, half-improvised, where thematic coherence outside of horny, love-struck exuberance and making babies is half-baked at best. Hints of insecurity at not having his passion reciprocated, questioning his relationship with his own father. I appreciate the confused, unwieldy morass of emotions. If it's trying to evoke a childlike emotional expanse, that's an intriguing theory, but you can hear writing straining to paint these more poetically while the rest of Baby relies on a lot of blunt force yowls, and it keeps tripping up on the intentional discordance. So yeah, I appreciate the experimentation, even if many of these tonal clashes weren't my thing with his obvious inspirations, and that hasn't really changed. The emotional intensity can evoke some thrill if you let it wash over you, and there are fragments of great songs trying to fight through. It's an intriguing listen. For the most part, I think it's pretty good, but it only kind of moved me in pieces. I don't exactly think it's going to be a favorite.